everyone! If you're new to our channel, I'm Sarah. My husband Matt and I have this channel where we share with you a day in the life, and today we had a delivery, so we're gonna bring all of that in. Nothing like a spring day to bring this stuff in.
Yes, and it's 40 degrees, and I'm in sweatpants, really Crocs, and barefoot.
Oh, the snow is just melting off the roof, so we're trying to get this in quick before it gets wet. So if you're new to our channel, my husband and I run a laser engraving company, and we practice the homesteading lifestyle, which doesn't seem like it goes hand in hand, but it is how we support our dreams. So the boys and I are going down to do chicken chores. Think there's lots of eggs today?
Yeah, a bucket and the scraps in here.
Got some scraps. Eli hasn't been eating all his food. Reach down in there? Ooh. You alright?
Yeah.
Who taught you how to do it that way?
Dad. Because we watched a video of Dad doing chickens and he dumped the corn in here. Row.
Almost got taken out by a chicken.
I just did it in a big row. See? Come on.
I'm trying. The chickens are in my way. I don't want to be.
It doesn't matter when you walk through. I'm going to move for you.
Alright, grab eggs.
3 in that one.
Keep going.
This
4.
one. 4.
5.
6.
11.
Oh, that's a big one. 21. We have feed.
And where are you moving it down like that?
That's why they don't. It's why they don't eat it just one side. There's weight on both sides. And there's weight. There's not the same weight on both sides. Maybe not gonna eat it. Moving, it's good.
Why do you kick it?
That's why it moves.
What if it's not moving? What does that mean?
That means it's ice up. Because sometimes it's dark like this, and this always has a shadow over it now. That's why it's hard to see it. Oh, there's chicken picking my feet on this now.
Alright, let's go. Sir?
It's done. Let's say there's one of my tracks. There's muddier ones up there.
I'm gonna get some supper going, and it looks like we have a lot of leftover this and that, which is perfect for like a hot dish. Or do you call it a goulash? Whatever you call it. I'm gonna make a hot dish, and I'm actually going to make some homemade noodles, some egg noodles, which we've done before but don't do very often. Looks like my flour container's a little low, so I better fill that up quick. If anybody has good tips on how to keep your flour bags closed once you're using them, you probably put them in a storage container, but I kind of have a small little area I've been keeping our flour, and I just want something to clamp these shut. And these chip clips, they're just getting stretched out from doing it. The recipe calls for some egg yolks, so I just separate the egg whites into a container, and we'll throw these in breakfast tomorrow. If you'd be interested in seeing a video on just this recipe, leave a comment down below. Since I don't do it too often, I might not do it for a while, but I would definitely do that one day. Get these noodles drying.
You're making noodles?
I'm making noodles! Leave it. Now go wash your hands because there's raw egg in that. So I've got my egg noodles drying and now I'm going to get started on the rest of the hot dish. So I just got a brand new Lodge cast iron pan from the thrift store. It was brand new and it just had a tiny bit of rust on it, almost like they had gotten it wet. The label was still on it. And so my husband is awesome with cleaning cast iron. So he cleaned it up for me and now I have two that are the same size, which is so perfect for what I'm doing tonight. I'm using that venison Matt got this year and we mixed it with some pork. If you didn't see that video of us mixing this up, I will link it up above. The one thing I keep forgetting about this is how there's so little fat in it. I'm gonna add some lard. I probably should have done that before I started the meat. While the meat's cooking, I've got the other pan starting to heat up and I'm gonna add some butter and pick out what veggies I'm putting in here, and I am just using up kind of what we need to use up, which is why I'm making hot dish. A couple onions left from our garden yet. We have a few more. They were so small this last year. We haven't done very well with onions over the years. Our first year when we lived in this house, they grew really well, but we grew in the garden that was already here, and I'm assuming that there was probably some interesting fertilizer in it. I've been trying to do better of anything we grew ourselves, of saving the scraps for chicken broth or veggie broth. Usually I just give it to the chickens, but I'm trying to do better about that. We've been doing bone broth for a couple years now, and I don't always add stuff to it, usually just the bones, because the more I complicate it, I realize the less I do it. So if I just keep it basic, don't overthink it, I tend to do it more. But if I have this in the freezer, I know I'll throw it in. I did save some of the garlic before we planted it, and we still have a little bit in the basement left. I've been keeping it down there, just hoping it holds up a little better where it's a little cooler. And so I'm gonna throw some of this in with those onions. I have a radish I accidentally pulled from the greenhouse when I was trying to pull the radishes that weren't good, so I'm gonna throw that in there. Leftover pepper from when I made an egg bake the other day. I also have quite a bit of celery left over from, I was making chili and then I was gonna make a buffalo chicken dip and I never did. So I have quite a bit of celery. I'm not gonna use it all. Not from the greenhouse, sadly, but I'll put in what I can. I always think it tastes better when you season the meat itself when you're cooking things. So I put some salt and pepper on the ground pork and venison. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of cayenne. A really tiny amount. And one of my new favorites this year, carrot tops. This is actually the end of one of my bundles. I only saved 2 from 2 sets of carrots that we harvested. I was just gonna say it is so nice having a kiddo who's old enough that he can like help me in the kitchen. Sorry, my hand's cold. I snuck down to the greenhouse. Matt's in the house too, but I snuck down to the greenhouse so that I could pick some spinach because I was like, why don't we have greens in here? Let's throw some greens in here. So, got a little bowl of spinach. I'm gonna wash that up and throw it in. I'm gonna put some broth on here. First, I think I need to rearrange my stove arrangement. My helper spilled a little. I got my broth going, my veggies going, meat is done. I'm gonna get my noodles going because they have dried. The noodles are cooked, so now it's time to add it all together, just like this. Doesn't that look good? It's still really runny. I'm gonna add some leftover tomato sauce we had in the fridge. That's where you put leftover tomato sauce. And I might add a little cheese. Doesn't that look so good? Oh yeah. While we're eating, I'm putting these cookie dough in the oven so we can have some cookies for dessert. How is it, Eli? How is it?
Yeah.
Do you like it? He's eating. I guess that's a good sign. Pickiest one in the house. Eating the noodles at least. Evan, where are your noodles?
Eat them all.
Why?
Because they're so good.
Is it good?
I knew that I did good. I
You
got
like it,
one
Levi?
more noodle. I got one more noodle.
It is really, really good.
Turned out really good. And I used a little bowl so I won't feel guilty about getting seconds.
If you like the content, give it a thumbs up.
And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already.
Glad you got to see us again.
Bye.